Right, you spent months, maybe years, building a product that you know will take off. You're launching in new markets, you've gained traction, and things are going well. But the one thing you haven't double checked? The translations. And trust me, that corner you've just cut, it's costing you more than you think. Now, how do I know? I'm a professional translator that helps MedTech and Pharma companies break into the UK and Irish markets, and I specifically help their regulatory teams meet all the legal requirements and avoid all the dodgy language. So here's what nobody's telling you. Translation isn't just something they check off your list. If you get this wrong, even slightly, this could end up in product recalls, or it could hold up your approval, or even worse, you could have a market that doesn't trust what you're selling nor what you're saying. And this can happen pretty easily. You can have one poorly translated sentence in your instructions for use, or a mislabeled warning, and you're leaving yourself entirely susceptible to legal and financial trouble, as well as your reputation being damaged. And these are things that you want to avoid like the plague. Now, if you're expanding into Ireland or the UK and you want to avoid all of that grief, let's talk. We'll jump on a strategy call, we'll look at your current translation approach and the gaps and see what needs fixing. Because once you're regulated in one language, everything else will depend on it being airtight. So you can send me an email, we'll jump on a strategy call, we will skip all of the nonsense, and we will dive right into a plan that suits your timeline and your compliance needs. Now, a lot of people view translation as just some sort of cheap add-on, and that all they need is someone fluent in a particular language to carry out the translation, or even worse, they'll use AI to do it for them. But here's the real story. If you have one incorrect term or one mistranslation in your technical file, that's a delay. If you have patient-facing documents that are hard to read, that's a complaint just waiting to happen. And if you have any ambiguous warnings on your packaging, that's liability, plain and simple. And let's not get started on what happens if your competitors' documents sound cleaner, clearer, and more trustworthy than yours. Because they will. And buyers aren't stupid, they will notice. So let me remind you that this isn't about spelling or grammar. It's about regulatory trust and making sure your product lands right the first time. Because you don't get a second go at this if the authorities pull your product or if patients lose faith. That's it. So look, even if you're thinking about entering English or Irish speaking markets, now is the time to get this sorted. Book that strategy call. It's quick, it's tailored, and it'll save you a whole world of bother down the line. There's no messing about, it's just clear guidance from somebody who knows how to keep your translations clean and compliant. So if you're still not convinced, watch this video about how costly translation mistakes can sabotage your contracts, in which I talk about how a medical device company thought they had everything covered until a single translation error cost them $50 million. It's no joke, and it's well worth a watch.